Okay, Brian, we should be on air.
Great. Hello, everyone, and welcome to ROC Detroit's first online meeting. After receiving excellent feedback, we want to keep the momentum going. Our goal is not only to make the Reuse Opportunity Collaboratory an engaging platform to learn and network, but also a critical source for ideas that deliver triple bottom line benefits for each of the participating organizations and Detroit. We hope this online demonstration of the United States Business Council for Sustainable Development's material marketplace will be a catalyst to developing a similar platform here in Detroit. My name is Brian Watkins, and I'm a business development manager from the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. And today, my fellow presenters are John Bradburn of General Motors, Tess Mateo of CX Catalysts, Andrew Mangan, Dan Ketzer, and Ray He of the USB CSD. And their pictures should be on the bottom of your screens. If you have any questions, please feel free to use the icons on your screen to forward questions to us on this video conference. Today marks the first time that I've led a virtual meeting, so I endeavor to make it a positive experience for everyone. And additionally, there is a 30-second delay between what you're seeing and what we're delivering. Also, this is our first time using Google Hangouts for our initiative. We wanted to try it because we can record the demonstration so that others who can't join us today can watch it later on YouTube. Please note that on the left side of your screen also there's a chat button so folks can post questions and comments that will also be recorded. We certainly hope that online meetings like this will be a time-effective way to stay connected between our in-person meetings. Don't forget that this is a collaboratory, so we'll continuously experiment and have both wins and fails in order to innovate and move forward. For those of you joining us for the first time, the Reuse Opportunity Collaboratory, ROC Detroit, is an initiative to bring together Detroit's industries, institutions, small and medium-sized businesses, and entrepreneurs to create closed-loop systems in which one organization's waste becomes another's raw material. ROC Detroit aims to create and manage a network of businesses, organizations, and entrepreneurs that will work together to match undervalued resources at various production locations with users of those resources at other locations. The goal is to reduce energy waste as well as physical waste to landfill while creating economic opportunities and social benefits. ROC Detroit links the USB CSD's collaborative byproduct synergy material reuse approach, CX Catalyst's green entrepreneurship experience, Pure Michigan Business Connect, and the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation's matchmaking series, and dynamic online marketplace with Detroit's creative, entrepreneurial spirit to bring positive economic growth and social impact to the city. With corporate leadership from General Motors and Fairmont Santrol, we want to leverage Michigan's manufacturing DNA to transform Detroit into a center of excellence for productive and catalytic material reuse. ROC Detroit will have 4 primary activities. 1, byproduct synergy meetings and facilitation. 2, online materials marketplace. 3, material reuse entrepreneurship. And 4, capacity building and knowledge sharing. On September 30th of this year, we launched ROC Detroit. Approximately 100 participants from a diverse group of companies, academic institutions, nonprofits, and government agencies came together to explore opportunities from Detroit's underutilized materials. We captured over 150 available or wanted materials from 2 byproduct synergy roundtable sessions. Participants were grouped together to discuss their value chains and top resource challenges. Chemicals, plastics and rubber, and packaging were the top 3 categories of materials discussed. Through facilitated discussions, several companies uncovered viable reuse opportunities. For example, one company recently shared that they are in talks with other participants regarding 3 individual waste streams. We invite other participants to share the byproduct synergies that they've discovered. To complement the roundtables, Pure Michigan Business Connect simultaneously conducted their matchmaking meetings. 6 partner companies, General Motors, Walker Miller Energy, Alpha Resins, Avitas Specialty Corporation, Dow Materials, and Marathon Petroleum, met with almost 40 small and medium-sized companies to further explore byproduct reuse opportunities initially identified by Pure Michigan's matchmaking system. And our preliminary results indicate that everyone involved had a very positive experience. This Saturday, November the 15th, is America Recycles Day, a program of Keep America Beautiful. It's a nationally recognized day dedicated to promoting and celebrating recycling in the United States since 1997. I mention this because ROC Detroit aims to drive collaboration. ROC Detroit is certainly more than recycling. It is much more about connecting with and building on myriad efforts to reduce waste. Our goal today is to demonstrate an online tool that the USBCSD has developed to help accelerate the identification of potential byproduct synergies. By also serving as a secure central repository for materials needed and available, the materials marketplace will also enable us to scale faster, since it can process exponentially more profiles than we could manually. Before we begin the online materials marketplace demonstration, I would like to introduce John Bradburn from General Motors, who will provide a corporate perspective of the value of this online tool. So at this time, John Bradburn.
Thank you very much, Brian. Appreciate it, and thanks to everybody to tune in on this. I'd like to tell you just a little bit about what we do and how important this is to businesses. At GM, we recently announced that we have 122 manufacturing operations around that are free, and this project, ROC Detroit, fits perfectly into that. It's about taking materials that are not intended to be used in its original state, moving them into other options, moving into other companies, small companies, large companies. Reuse is very, very significant in this work. It's about taking materials and finding very, very creative and innovative ideas with them. I want to give you just a few options to think about. For instance, while we're at the meeting, we talked about some materials, and I'm going to hold this up. Hopefully it shows the potential. This is a non-woven material that we talked about in our meeting. We're working on it to make an insulation for homes, and this, in fact, was an insulation for vehicle engine compartments. So that was a result of the ROC Detroit meeting. I think it's a good example of repurposing and reusing. It's a step above recycling itself. It's about a reuse collaboratory. Here's another interesting material that we talked about in our meeting. It is a polyurethane foam, but it's got a backing material with a stick adhesive material on it, and we think that would make a very, very good material as well for weather strips and blocking out cold, for applications in architecture and buildings. It was a sealer material in the automotive industry. So again, it's a reuse, it's a repurpose, it's something that once we get our analysis completely done, what we hope to do is create jobs with it and build the economy, build value. Value, obviously, of these materials is very significant for companies and their sustainability efforts to create strong economies. It's about the resilience of a company maintaining its purpose and working with its customers and potential customers into the future. We want to remind those who participated in the ROC Detroit event to share those ideas and to talk about them. And while you're online, in fact, to submit your questions while online, and we'll attempt to answer them based on how this is progressing. And we're very, very enthused at that point. Along with that, I'd like to introduce the materials marketplace, and Daniel and Ray from the U.S. Business Council will go ahead with that and give a demonstration. And again, please remember, if you got any questions, please raise them during the discussion. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, John. Hi, everyone. This is Ray from the Business Council for Sustainable Development, here with my colleague, Daniel. We just want to reiterate that ROC Detroit is being designed to engage very large companies like John's and down to the individual entrepreneurs that just start to look at innovative ways to deal with their byproducts and everything in between. So we're talking about hundreds of companies and thousands of materials and potential businesses, business opportunities. We at the Business Council have been developing a piece of software over the past few years called the Marketplace, Materials Marketplace, to enable and support regional and national efforts, initiatives of this kind. The Marketplace software allows the company and organizations to participate in the ROC in the ROC Detroit project to quickly and easily post materials available and materials they wanted, and also help facilitate the transaction of those materials. And it also enables us as the project staff to be actively engaged, involved in every step of the process. So without saying too much, let me just show my screen, and I will show you guys some of the main features of the software. All right, so now showing on the screen is the main user interface for a company user. Here I'm taking the mobile fluid recovery Detroit as an example, but just to keep in mind that none of the data is the real, but it's all hypothetical with the purpose of showing of demo the software. So on the main screen, you can see here are the place where all the active materials are displayed. We think this is a nice feature that enables hundreds of companies and thousands of materials from the ROC Detroit project to be put into the same spot, and everybody can see it and share the information and find reuse opportunities. So at the top of this left-hand panel, you have a search bar that you can search for any materials you're looking for. And we do have a filter functionality that you can filter all the materials by industry type, by resource types, or by resource frequencies. For example, if you're looking at the materials from a specific industry, you can search by that. Or you're looking at a resource, say, and coatings. There you go. So it's a nice way to quickly nail down your search to find the specific materials you're looking for. Also, we have this sort function from new to old to new, alphabetical, or recommended. So once you find a material that you're interested in, you can click on the material, and all the detailed information of the material is displayed on the right side panel. So you can scroll down to see all the information, detailed information about that material the owner posted on the database. And in case you don't know the owner, you can click on their logo, and that gives you a quick card of showing who the company is, you're dealing with. So once you find a very interesting material that you want to start a synergy transaction, you can click on this upper right corner button that says Start Synergy Transaction, and that brings you to a legal agreement. And once both sides agree to the legal agreement, then a synergy transaction is taking place. Here I want to show you under What's New tab. Here we are providing you the newly recommended materials, newly synergy transaction requests, and ongoing synergy transactions that have happened since the last time of logged in. So here we'll quickly mention we do have the feature of for us as a project staff to actively looking for the synergy matches and recommend that to any users. If you click on the synergy endorsement, you will see the reason why us project staff recommend this material to you. And as I mentioned earlier, this is what happens after both sides accept the synergy transaction request. That brings them to a synergy transaction negotiation. In this case, I'm using the Northern Industrial Manufacturing and the mobile fluid recovery as example. They're talking about doing a transaction on the grinding slurry. So here we provide a simple and streamlined process for negotiation. So the buyers and owners need to talk about the pricing, the quantity, and quality of the material, and fill in this information. And this also guides them through the whole lot of all range of considerations they need to have before they doing the real transaction. So this is not only a way for us to keep record of the synergy transaction, but also to guide the users through a synergy transaction. So this is the whole process for the synergy transaction. And with that being said, I think that's everything we want to quickly show for today for the software part.
Yeah. So, and one other thing to add here as well. We tried to make it as intuitive and as easy as possible to post what materials you do have available. And you can do that at any time by hitting Add New and filling in this quick template. The minimum required information is the resource name, the description of the resource, and the resource type. We recommend that participants also put in the quantity information and the production type information. But once you put in your information, it'll be posted into that materials available list for everyone to see. There's also some other ways to more quickly do it. You have the option of uploading your information from an Excel template. And so if you have a ton of information somewhere else, it's pretty quick and pretty easy to toss it into the marketplace. Good, and just as a reminder to our audience, if you do have any questions about what you've seen here, or want to know if there's any other features that you're interested in, please type them into the Q&A box.
Well, thank you for that great demonstration. Today was only just a little short brief just to give everyone a sense of what we have to offer. We'd like to have future hangouts where we can actually go into more details on one of the materials, and we hope that, just as Jeff did from Northern Industrial, that you come forward and you share your ideas as well as share potential partnerships, because then as we work together, as we mentioned, this is a collaboratory, and we need to get more active engagements in between our meetings. So this is just a first step, and we would love your feedback. Andy, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, welcome to everybody. It's great that we have a chance to lay this out for you. The software that Ray demonstrated is in use now in Austin, city of Austin, Texas, which has launched a similar project to the ROC Detroit, and we're also working in Ohio where there's interest in doing that. So and then there are business organizations that are interested as well. So there's kind of a growing momentum for this concept of reuse and recycle, and it's something we really want to make sure Detroit is in the leading edge on. So we look forward to continuing this exploration and getting more participation going forward. But I think our meeting today was a good start, and we've got more to come, and we'll be in touch on that.
I think that's it.
Fantastic. Oh, we do have one question that's just come in on the Q&A. The question is, has the exchange gone live yet?
Well, yeah, on that we've got it ready. It's up on a cloud-based server, ready to be populated with data, but we haven't launched that data collection phase yet. But that would be the next step. So we're prepared to go forward. We need to take a couple more steps before we actually get the data up. But and part of that is, you know, covering the overall cost of the database, which is, as Ray said, it's something that a business council, which is a nonprofit, created based on a lot of experience. But we're not. So the cost of it is a kind of break-even cost, but that's something we're working on right now to get that fully funded, and we'll be that's when we'll actually launch the full-blown effort to get the data up.
Good. So just a reminder to everyone who tuned in today. Project updates and more information about the project can be found at rocdetroit.org, and we'll be posting information on our upcoming meetings. You can also read the full meeting summary of our last meeting, which, as Brian mentioned, was held at the end of September this year. But follow along at rocdetroit.org, and we thank you for joining us today, and we hope that we will be in touch soon in the future.
Thank you.
All right, great, thanks.
Everybody.
Right.